Welcome back to the T2 Book Club. With you as always, T2. It's Christmas time. By the time you see this, Christmas should be over. But I have a very special book for you today I'm going to review called The Last Wish, Book 1 of the Witcher trilogy, introducing The Witcher, the hit video game series based on this book by Andrzej Sapkowski. He's Kelly Kapowski's sister, Saved by the Bell. I don't know. He's a Polish guy. We won't be making any Polak jokes, but we could, because this is a special review, because this is the first book, I have to say. Didn't much care for it. Didn't like it. 1 out of 5 stars. Pugh, I spit on you. I will not be reading books 2 or 3 of the trilogy. I ain't got time for that shit. I got way too many books. And in other news, I just got a new job today. That I spent like $200 worth of money on all these books to keep me busy at my current job, which now I won't have time to read. I don't know when I'm going to get to read them, but I'll find time somehow. But this is a piece of trash. Don't care for it. So the game I didn't like either. I didn't play Witcher 1. I don't think I played Witcher 2. I played Witcher 3. Maybe it's because I played the third game. I didn't have any idea what was going on. But there's like a guy, he's got 2 swords. He's got all these different attacks. He's got a bunch of different magic spells. And there's like not enough buttons for all your stuff you can do. And then I think most people like it because you ride a horse. Because a lot of people like Skyrim. And a lot of girls just want a game with a horse. And your health doesn't seem to ever regenerate. And there's a card game that they didn't really explain very well how to play. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really like The Witcher. I know you're like fighting dragons and whatever. There's a dragon on the cover, but a lot of the stuff in this book, it's stuff you never heard of. It's monsters that don't describe them. They give them weird names that you've never heard of. A lot of them, I mean, there's a few that you have, but like they give people. Here's one of my main issues with this: is they name people. There's no character development at all. Except maybe this one guy has a bard that follows the Witcher around. The Witcher and the bard, and maybe this, not even Yennefer, they didn't really characterize her much, but the woman who's at this healing place he goes to between stories. This isn't there's no thorough plot that goes through the book from start to finish. It's just like a bunch of disjointed stories in between him going to visit this healing woman, and then he goes to a different story that has nothing to do with the previous story, except maybe a character will carry over or something. It's like, what the fuck's going on with this crap? If I was an editor and somebody sent me this, I would send it back and say, no, I won't publish this. You need to do some work and make it all into one story. Stop throwing about a bunch of gibberish names of people that don't have anything to do with anything. Look at this. I'm going to go to page 109. Let's see here. Sylvana, the Lady of Narok, whom we never managed to get close to because she gained power so quickly. Terrible things are happening in Narok now. Fialka, Evermir's daughter, escaped her tower using a homemade rope and is now terrorizing North Velhad. Bernica of Talgar was freed by an idiot prince. Now he's sitting in a dungeon blinded, and the most common feature of the Talgar landscape is a set of gallows. In Yammerlak, for instance, an old man Abrad reigns. He's got Scrofula. What the fuck is Scrofula, and who are these people? None of these people or places that I've named have anything to do with any of these stories, ever. Why are you mentioning him? What is the point of all this crap? Not a single tooth in his head, so you can assume that it's some disease that makes your teeth fall out or something. What the fuck? I wish I had a list of the... Was there a list of the beasts and the things he attacks? I know it was in here somewhere. A Striga, I think, was a Kikamora. A Striga. Does anybody know what any of that is? I know what a Hikikomoro is, or Hikikomora. That's a shut-in Japanese kid. Is he killing Japanese kids? No, I don't think so. They list like all these different things he fights. Some of them like vampires and drakes. You know what that is, giant scorpions. But then there's just a bunch of weird words that I've never heard of. It's a bunch of gobbledygook, gibberish. Like, what the hell are all these things? Apparently a Striga is some kind of like undead, ghosty, kind of like a Japanese Maybe like in the movie The Ring, the thing that comes out of the well. Maybe it's one of those. I don't know. They don't explain anything or describe anything. It's just like, oh, I'm fighting a Striga, and how you kill it is it has like a coffin that goes in at night, like a vampire, and you wait. You have to keep it out of its coffin for a whole day, and it'll turn back into the human that it was corrupted into or something. So he like crawls into its own coffin and keeps it out because he's in there, and he like seals it off with some kind of spell where he just sits in it. He just sits in a coffin all night, and then he gets up and he's like, "Oh, I got up too early," and the Striga fucking claws his throat out. And then it was just like, and then she turned into a human. He barely. If he just waited about 5 more minutes, he would have had no problems whatsoever. What the hell? Can't find this. So there's a bunch of random names of people. They'll say like, oh, so-and-so, the sister of so-and-so, the land of so-and-place, and some far-off blah-blah-blah. That I don't know any of this fucking shit. This is why I hate anime that's about a lot of politics and like castles and high fantasy stuff. Like even the original Gundams was too much for me. It's like I don't know who all these people are, what are these politics or these organizations. I don't know any of it. You haven't told me anything about it, and you're jumping right into the story and you're not explaining any of it. I mean, who does it really good? Like Game of Thrones is really good because he explains, you know, the Starks, and you got the Lannisters, and you got people from all these different lands, and there's a map, and you see where everything is, and you see how everything works. Stephen King, really good character developer. He tells you like the backstory of the villain and why he's a villain, why he's mad, and where everybody comes from, and what they can do, what their abilities are, what the monsters you're fighting. This is like a bunch of crap. I don't know what the hell happened in this book. Now, I did kind of like the actual short stories within, like, you know, the action scenes and the stories. Like, there's a few things here and there. There's another place. The one part I did like. He goes to this castle. There's a guy. He's like a human on the bottom, but he has a bear monstrous head. Kind of like Beauty and the Beast. See, everything's kind of based on a fairy tale. This is kind of the Beauty and the Beast guy. So he's not afraid of him. He treats him with respect. He invites him in his house. The Beast has some kind of magic powers. He can like summon food, turn on the lights. He can do anything in his castle. The castle pretty much obeys his every command, like magic. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a cool sidekick, like the Lone Ranger in Tonto. This is going to be his Tonto. It'd be a great character, but no, he doesn't. He just he turned out to be a rapist. He got cursed by a woman because he raped her, and that's why he has a bare face. And he found somebody who didn't mind him being a bare-faced guy or a rapist. And what the fuck are these books? It all comes down to rape in the end. That's what I've learned. There's no plot twist in this at all. It's all just straightforward. There's a scene where this woman named the Shrike. She's kind of like an outlaw pirate or something. She has a gang. And then there's a guy in a tower. He's a wizard. And the wizard don't like the Shrike. And the Shrike don't like the wizard. And the Witcher is kind of like a go-between. He's supposed to take a side. He's supposed to pick one. But he doesn't pick one. They don't explain why they hate each other. You don't know which side he should take because you don't know anything about either one of them. He's just like, I choose the wizard. And he fights off. He kills all of the woman's men. And then he makes her leave or something. And nothing ever came of it. There was no plot twist. Nothing. I didn't even know why they were even fighting over her. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? So in the end, there's this girl, Yennefer. And he ends up... They're summoning... him and his bard. They fish up this jug and they summon a genie. And he thinks the guy with the jug gets the 3 wishes. But he had the lid on his hand. And apparently he had the 3 wishes. And he accidentally wished for this guy to explode because he was beating the shit out of him. Then at the end of it, him and Yennefer... Like... It's supposed to be this long lost love of his, but this is like when he first meets Yennefer. And he has this one last wish, because he's trying to control the demon. She's like a sorceress, and he needs to make his last wish so he'll give up control of the demon, of the genie, so she could have it. And he makes the last wish, and they don't even tell you what the fucking last wish was. What the hell is the book called The Last Wish for? You don't tell me what the last wish was. All I know is that they end up fucking. So they explain that she's a sorceress. And a lot of times sorceresses become sorceress because they have bad body image issues. And they have like scars or something that are ugly that makes themselves look better. And he figured out somehow that she had a hunchback. So it kind of leads you to believe maybe he wished for her to not have a hunchback. But if she's a sorceress, she's already gotten rid of the hunchback with magic. Is he wishing for her to have never had a hunchback or memories of being an ugly hunchback girl? Or did he just straight up wish to fuck her and he got to fuck her and then she's like, why did you want to fuck me? And then it was like, I don't know. Got a wish. Might as well fuck somebody with it. I don't know what the hell this book's supposed to be. This is dumb garbage. I mean, I don't want to badmouth the guy too bad. He's supposed to be like the best author in Poland. So, you tell them they got a lot of good Polish authors out